Howdy shapeshifters, KayPike here, and today I'm going to show you how to perfectly transform into Catwoman. Right in here to Catwoman. You can tell it is one of those awesome days where I'm too excited to be a Catgirl. I've already put the bald cap on. Don't worry, there will be a tutorial on that. Whoa, freeze frame! You can see I put that one little squiggle on my forehead. That is a way to try to find point source lighting so it can carry through consistent lighting throughout the illusion. Kind of filling out the edges of the coloring book here. Getting my anchor points set where the edges of the fabric are and where her waist is going to be. You see me using a cream stick. I use various types of makeups and various brands of makeups all throughout. I will try to do my best to link below. What's important to remember is that if you use different types of products, they won't mix, they won't blend. Using a cream-based paint will not mix with the glycerin paint. That allows you to get edges and highlights and squiggles in. And this is very, very important because she is so very, very perfectly glossy in this one. You will then see me go in with a hybrid paint. Links down below. Airbrush or alcohol-based paints you don't normally want to use because they are so very hard to get off of your skin. However, if you were doing a very technical piece, it's a great way that you can pop colors, tone. The idea here is to knock out any of the human flesh tones, because I have like this lovely warm glow. See me just roughly blocking out a little section and then going and refining the edges of it with a cream stick. Wash, rinse, repeat. Let's see where I want my middle tones and then edge them. Kind of filling out the coloring book, but thankfully we can paint over all of these white lines. I want to get that pink in there so there's no golden human tones in underneath. I'm trying to look all perfectly PVC here. For showmanship, I paint the back of the bald cap. You don't have to be 1000% showmanship. Unless you're streaming, of course. Then remember showmanship. Another reason why I'm not painting my face right away. Okay, going in with the glycerin-based paints. This is a way to pull the tones together. You can see I have them kind of edged. I'm using the warm tone of my skin and this kind of like cooler magenta of the airbrush paint to create 3 different tone varieties in that pink there. Tone varieties help you control the illusion and control the lighting. Also, the glycerin-based paint is a lot less rough on your skin, so if you can use it for blocking or as an underlayer, please do so. You can see I just have that bright magenta hybrid paint in select spots. It is very, very difficult to get off. Lose inches off your waist in minutes with this one weird trick. Find the most matte black paint that you can and paint that waist. So I do have to make myself much, much, much tinier to be these characters. I'm trying to scale everybody's body onto mine. You kind of carve your own body out so you can make room for somebody else's. It's very strange. I use Global Strong Black here. Just broad strokes as much as I can. I'm going in and getting the piping, the boning, any seams, any bright, any light spots. Now notice I can use the cream stick on top again because it is a cream-based makeup versus the glycerin. And then I'm going in over with a glycerin-based cake paint. This is kind of like to add a double layer to it, also to give me some material, some pigment to be able to pull from. So if you get that stuff wet, it's going to blend and pull into the other bits of the fabric. It's a great way to make your pastel highlights and such, is with the glycerin, because it will pull through. You can get your brush wet and blend. So that's why you're seeing the mix of the two, is so I can get that kind of mid-highlight pass. You'll see on my neck there how it's sort of semi-opaque when it's just the glycerin cake paint, but I'll just use that as a mid-fill and then really brighten it up later. Right now the paint starts to look like this beautiful dreamscape. Galaxy sunset cats, yeah! I had lots of extra highlights around the wrists and elbows. Think about wherever fabric pulls, bunches, sags, or snares in real life. Anywhere where it will wear out though first, usually elbows, knees, waist, and depending on fabric tension, you want to add more wrinkles, more rumples, more pulls. Right now I'm kind of just doing that kind of glossy pigment pull white pass here. Notice that I'm using the body paint on the paper ears themselves. Doing a highlight pass now. I'm looking very carefully at where light would be reflecting off of her outfit. And continuing now, washing the colors together. Then I'm going in with a deeper blue to kind of create the secondary low light color. Remember when you're doing a PVC or glossy fabric, you want to do double the highlights, double the lowlights. Add more depth and variation in your colors. Speaking of, please forgive the 2 different cameras. If anybody would like to help with that, please consider supporting me on Patreon or investing in some of my NFT artwork. Now I'm going in with a deep tone blue. I'm trying to mark out more than one mid-tone. I also do more than one highlight and more than one low light whenever I'm doing a PVC or a glossy material. I'm trying to watch still where my highlight is and make this a contrast line as well as the opposing low light. You can notice that the paint is really, really moist there. I'm kind of using it to wick away brush strokes. At this point in the paint, I look like this lovely Easter egg. Lovely galaxy tropical sunset. Wash with a middle color that will kind of refine all of the edges and unify them at the same time. So I'm trying to get rid of the hard brush strokes as well as make it look like one congruent piece of material. With a light hand and a little bit of water. You can tell it's a very moist wash in the drip on my forehead there. There we go, she did it. You can see that it's so very tonal now. Going in with hybrid paint here, absolutely for sure. Just keep refining where you want your most striking lines to be. That's how I get my white so bright. Is I use a very, very gentle touch, but keep doing multiple passes so you don't lose them, don't lose your outlines, don't lose your edges. And different products that don't mix together unless you need them to be that kind of edgy effect. Going and finding details, rumples in the fabric, and really sharpening up. Think of this like a sharpen tool. Mixing in again, going back in with mid-tone blues, light washes, and that cream stick over and over to just really refine my edges. And you can see right now I'm really carving away brush lines. I'm trying to look photoshopped when really I'm traditional art. Painting your own right arm, I tell you. Glitch on through after the break where I added all of my shadows. Painting the flesh tones is very, very important. You always have to think about your outcome lighting that you want. I'm going for this cool street light, sirens, very dark at night, a little bit romantic pink in there, but mostly that cool pink. Very blue. Going in with a very, very soft brush to just block. Make sure none of the golden skin tone is shining through. You can see on my hand there. It's very, very distracting. And then I'm going to go in with mid-tones. Try to crank the contrast up just a little bit. Pull it down just a bit. Flesh tones, you have to be very careful if you're doing a softer look. Oh, the eye line. Pay very, very close attention to anything on your face. It's where everybody is looking, is on your eyes. See if you get the character's mask angle correct. Always watch for ratios of where is the nose, where are the cheeks land, what point is it? It's very character specific. And I over contrast and over fuss the face so much. The edges of the comic book are being filled in. I'm going to be chasing inking lines with shadow. It's good to put down a little bit of paint and then do a little bit of shadow first so you can refine your edge lines. I can't draw a straight line. So I buff in a little bit of paint and then I'll buff in a little bit of shadow. Ah, the gloss. Hybrid paints come out once again to not blend in with the color underneath. This will be one of our final light and shadow passes, making sure that anywhere that needs to be edged, have that paint bucket fill, has a line to fill to. You can tell that I don't normally put makeup on. I'm kind of just like smear. Seems good. Oh, the little bits of glossies really make all the difference. So just keep reapplying them. They can fade out, they can fade through. As you've seen me put this on probably 10 times. I have a high focus right now on chasing any of the highlights with a corresponding low light, just to make it glossier material. That's why you see the lights come out, and then the darks. Ah yes. These are facial features. Just making the eyelashes pop there. Going with cream stick to kind of add a base for the hybrid, so it has something to sit on, or else it will kind of just sink into the other colors. You have to remember, whenever you're using body paint, it's a very living, very fluid thing. Oh yes, eyebrows are important. Now I'm an approachable human being, I swear. Ah yes, and my gratuitous lens flares, lighting effects. And notice this nearly every paint. I want a sparkle! And oh man, painting your dominant arm. This is mostly an attitude change. I made my nails out of paper. lining with kind of a, I think it's for eyes. It's a felt tip. They're quite expensive, so I only use them for little details. If I can find an equivalent, I'll link it down below. But it's less likely to run and walk away on your mouth. Perfect. I've positively loved this time showing my perfect Catwoman transformation. This was hysterical, and I hope that you're feline fine. If you like my videos or believe in my potential to teach art and shapeshifting, join us on Patreon. Or consider investing in some of my really cool NFT art. Let me know which one of my characters you'd like me to see put up next. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe to not miss the next tale. But enough kidding around. Check out the links down below, and I'll see you soon.